Hi everyone, it's Lottie from Cozy Pig Betrayals, and in this video I'm going to be talking about something which has kind of been on my mind a lot recently, and that's like becoming overwhelmed by all the books, pages and things that I want to colour, plus also like my thoughts on overconsumption and stuff like that. So I'm just going to have like a kind of colour and chat video with you. So I'm just going to colour whilst chatting about this topic. Yeah, and the book that I'm working on at the moment is Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoko, Egusa, and this one is a buddy colour with my friend Naomi, and her Instagram is Cozy Colouring Studio. And I'm working on this page at the moment, and I absolutely love colouring birds, so I'm really excited to be working on this page. All I've done so far is this toucan, as you can see. I'm working in polychromos. And I'm going to be working on this bird here throughout this video. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to chat and colour at the same time. It might be a very slow colouring process, but obviously it's something just to watch or have in the background while you're listening to me talk. But this is sort of the reference photo I'm going by. I'm going by this type of bird because it looks like it is that kind of parrot. And this is called a hyacinth macaw. And it's this beautiful blue bird with some yellow on the face. So I will be working on that one. And then I think this bird in the middle I'm going to do as a sun conure, if you've seen what they look like. They're a beautiful orange, yellow and green bird, and they're so cute. So I think I'm going to do that one as a sun conure, but this one I'm going to do as this bird here. So I've just got the reference photo printed out just so I can sort of look at it rather than keep flicking to my phone like I normally would. I thought that would probably distract me more while I'm trying to talk at the same time. Okay, I'm just going to get started with a little bit of colouring just to kind of get me grounded as to what I'm doing. I'm just going to start adding a little bit of colour. I will zoom in a little bit, I think, otherwise you won't see any of what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm just going to start colouring a little bit just so I know what I'm doing. Alright, this is going to be a little bit harder than I thought because I feel like I'm having to concentrate quite a lot on this bird. But anyway, I'm just going to have to give it a go. But anyway, recently I've been becoming quite overwhelmed with all the pages that I really want to colour. All the books that I want to colour and get to, but I'm just not having enough time, and also the fact that I would really love to complete some colouring books at some point in the future, and it just feels like impossible, like it's never going to happen. Because the amount of time it takes to colour a page, like how many colouring pages do I get done a month? Maybe between 10 and 15 pages. So obviously if I was to work in one colouring book for the whole month, I could probably get done a whole colouring book in like 3 months, 3 to 4 months, but I would get so bored. I feel that's just not something I would be able to do personally. Yeah, I would just get very bored of doing the same one, especially when I know I've got loads of other books just sat there. I feel like that's not realistic for me. So really, when I'm looking at completing a colouring book, realistically, if I was to complete 1 page per month on the average colouring book, for example, this has got 60 pages or 50 pages in it. How many years is that going to take me? That's going to take me about 4 years for a 50 to 60 page colouring book if I did a page per month. That is a long time, and I feel like that scares me. Like, I want to complete a book sooner than that. I mean, I am kind of close to, well, not close, I'm over halfway there of finishing one of my Disney Colour by Number books. My Tome 10 Grand Classiques Disney Colour by Number book, I've done 53 pages. I counted last night actually, and I worked out if I was to complete it by the end of next year, I need to do 3.3 pages a month. So that's a minimum of 3 pages a month, and some months doing 4, which I think could be doable because colour by number pages I find really easy to do and relaxing, and they're obviously not all based on the same film, so they're there's quite a lot of variety. So I feel like that is achievable. My colour by number books, I feel like they're kind of achievable, and I think that's because I can colour multiple pages in a book without getting bored. But like, I'm talking about actual like books like this, for example, where I work in coloured pencil mostly, and they take me a long time. Like I know like Jess at Colouring Bumblebee has completed a few books. She posted one recently, one of her Matchstick Mouse books, but she also uses alcohol markers to base, which obviously does speed up the process. I don't like doing that. I like working mostly in just coloured pencil. I do base occasionally. I like using watercolours for backgrounds, which obviously speeds up the background process, which is good. But yeah, like I don't have many books that are quick to complete each page, apart from maybe the Boule de Poire by Diane Dufour, which is actually going to be one of my project books as well, because I've been doing 1 page a month in that book for a little while, and I find that really works because they're really quick and easy pages to do. And I've recently set up a group on Instagram where we do a page per month together in that book, and I think that will really help me to get through that one. But even so, that book will still take me like 3 to 4 years to complete still, even just doing 1 page a month, and I feel like that's crazy. Am I going to be wanting to do a page per month in that book for that many years? I don't know. Like, who knows where my mind's going to be. I might get bored of it, or I might just prefer other styles. I just don't know. It's just really hard one. It's a hard thing to like think about. I don't know, because I just really want to complete a colouring book. Like, I've seen flip throughs of my Colourful Country Life doing her like Herbie Roseanne's full book colouring that she does, like when she completes a book and she flips through. It's just so satisfying. I would just love to have that one day, and just a book you can keep forever that you've completed like every single page in. I just think that would be so cool. But yeah, I've got, obviously, as I said, I've got that Disney Colour by Number book and Boule de Poire, which I feel like I could potentially finish those books. But I want to pick another couple of project books to work on. And once I've decided, I will make a video on it. But I'm a bit undecided because I did want to do Fantasy Worlds by Emily Liederhill-Oberg. I wanted to do her book as a project book. But then also I know that next year her new book, the second one of this one, is coming out, and then I'll be wanting to colour in that one, and then I'll be like, oh, maybe I should do this one as a project book, but then you're starting from scratch again. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there'll be something new coming out that will be more new, shiny and interesting, and I don't know, I just don't want to get bored, but then at the same time I really want to complete some books, so I don't know, it's just been on my mind recently. And then because like every now and again I buy a new colouring book, whether it be off Vinted or off Amazon or whatever, and then you've got another book that you would love to one day complete and all this kind of stuff. Like, there's so many books in my collection that I would love to complete, but realistically the amount of years it would take to complete them is just, I can't comprehend it. And it makes me sad because I want to finish all the pages in all my books. Well, maybe not all the pages, because obviously there's going to be some that you're not as keen on. But it's just something I really want to do, and yeah, I just need to pick a couple books and stick with it and do 1 page every month or every other month, and then eventually one day, hopefully they will be completely finished. That would be the dream anyway. I do find that having more colouring books like gives me more enjoyment, in the sense of I get to colour a wide variety of things, so I don't get bored of colouring the same style or the same type of theme all the time. I do have that variety. But then the only thing that does create is decision fatigue, and I get really like, when you're trying to pick pages to colour, it's so hard, and then I end up flicking, like going from one book to another. Like, I'll do a little bit of this one, and then I'll do a bit of another one, and then before I know it, I've got like 7 whips on the go. And I just find it really hard to know what to do next. I mean, recently I've had quite a lot of buddy colours, so that's been kind of forcing me to work on those and what I've got planned. But going forward, I only want to do maybe a couple of buddy colours per month, because I like having the freedom to do whatever I feel like doing in the moment, without feeling like I have to rush get my buddy colours done before I can do that. So yeah, I will still be doing buddy colours, but just a bit less of them, unless it's a page that I've already had my eye on and really want to get done, then of course that's fine. But I know a lot of people feel the same way about buddy colours, that like it takes away that freedom to decide what you want to colour in the moment, because I'm quite like a mood colorist, I suppose. Like I could randomly just be in the mood for the most random thing. I need to get a different blue. But yeah, I could randomly just be in the mood for something completely different than what I had planned, and then I can't because I've got to get these buddy colours done or whatever. Like yeah, I'm sure a lot of people feel the same about them. But at the same time, I do really enjoy buddy colouring because it kind of gives you that push to get a page done. Like I've had my eye on this page for a while, and doing a buddy colour in it obviously has given me a push to get it done. So that's great. And then there's the topic of overconsumption, which I think is quite a personal thing. And I have some opinions on it, but they're not necessarily bad. So personally for myself, I don't want to have hundreds and hundreds of colouring books because I feel like I would be so overwhelmed I'll probably just give up the hobby altogether. Because, well, no, I don't think I would, to be fair. I don't think I would give it up, but I just feel like I couldn't cope with that much decision and that many books, and the fact that it's obvious you're not going to get those all coloured in your lifetime. I've got just over 50 colouring books, I think, which is, to me, that's like insane amount, but at the same time I can't help but buy more still. But I do know a lot of people on YouTube here, they have like 200 plus colouring books, and I feel like for me personally I would be so overwhelmed with that. I don't know how I'd cope with that. I'd have to have a massive de-stash and get rid of like half of them, because I think that would just overwhelm me way too much. Like I get overwhelmed enough with the amount I've got. So if I had that many, that would just, I don't know, that would just really overwhelm me if I had hundreds and hundreds, especially if I had hundreds and hundreds of untouched books. I think I'd just feel so guilty. Whereas me at the moment, I think I've got like 6 or 7 uncoloured books which don't have anything done in them, and I feel like that's manageable because I feel like by the end of the year I'll have some done in those. That will be easy like for me to do, so that's fine. But if you had hundreds of uncoloured books, you'd have to focus on that for a year to like get them done, unless you're colouring an insane amount. But I don't know, I do work. I'm self-employed and I'm also a full-time mum, so I don't have a huge amount of time on my hands to colour. I spend my evenings colouring once she's gone to bed. Well, when I say she, I mean my daughter. Once my daughter's gone to bed, I spend a couple hours in the evening colouring, and then I'll quite often get into bed and read for an hour or something like that. So if I'm only getting kind of a couple of hours a day to colour, that's not much at all. You can't get a huge amount done in that time. So yeah, but if you have tons of time on your hands, like say like you don't work for whatever reason, you're retired, or for medical reasons, or you, I don't know, whatever reason, you have more spare time on your hands, then obviously you'll be able to get more pages done, and maybe having more books would be more, having more books would be like less overwhelming in the sense that you'll get more done. But for me, it would just be way too overwhelming for me. And in terms of overconsumption, like if you want to buy hundreds and hundreds of colouring books and you're happy with that, then absolutely go for it. I am not judging you at all, because I know how easy it is and I know how much joy colouring brings and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm definitely not judging you if you do have hundreds and hundreds of colouring books. Everyone has their reasons, and if you can afford it, then, and you have the space, absolutely go for it. I wish I could, but at the same time, yeah, I would just be way too overwhelmed. So for myself, I don't want to be doing that. And I guess it's not really overconsumption if you're using all of the things that you buy. I guess maybe overconsumption would be if you're buying things that you're not using, but then at the same time some people just like collecting, and that's fine too. I understand the appeal of that. I don't know, it's hard. I don't think I'm ever going to stop buying colouring books. As long as I am still colouring a lot and really enjoying the hobby, then I will continue to buy colouring books for sure. It's something that I absolutely love, and I get a lot of relaxation out of it. I find colouring super relaxing, and it's kind of my way of switching off in the evening, like calming down before bed. I maybe watch some YouTube, listen to some audiobooks. It's a super relaxing hobby for me, and it's something I want to continue for hopefully the rest of my life. But yeah, I just wonder how many books I will be able to complete if I do keep colouring my entire life, and how will I choose which books to dedicate all that time to, because it's a lot of time to dedicate to one book. Think how many hours it takes to complete a colouring page. Like, how many hours would this page take me? Maybe, oh, hiccups. It'll maybe take me like 12 hours to complete this whole page, something like that. That's just a complete guess. I haven't timed myself, so I don't know. But let's say this page took me 10 to 12 hours. How many pages are there in this book? There's probably like over 60 pages in this book. What's 60 times 10? 600. That's 600 hours of colouring to complete one book. That is a lot of time to dedicate. But it would be super satisfying. I mean, I can imagine people completing like cozy colouring books or alcohol marker pages, like books that they use mostly alcohol markers in. I can imagine that would take a lot less time, because you can get a page done in an hour. So I feel like that's quite easy, and I really wish I did enjoy colouring more with alcohol markers. I mean, I do, but not for the majority of my books. The majority of them I just like using pencils, and that's just what I enjoy more. I feel like I can get more detail in. And whenever I like try basing a page with alcohol markers, I never end up liking the result. So I've been thinking in my methographic books I could base using alcohol markers to kind of speed up the process. But I just feel like I'm not going to be happy with the page, because I can't create the shading and depth that I want to unless I used a super light alcohol marker and then use pencils on top. But then what's the point? I could have just gone in with just coloured pencil in the first place. I don't know. So I don't really have a way of speeding up my colouring. I kind of like taking my time, and I like the way I colour, and like the colouring kind of techniques I use and stuff like that. So I can't really speed up my colouring, so that's not an option. So I think I do just need to dedicate one page a month to a few books and use that as a way to get through. Even if I don't end up completing the book, at least it means I'll have a huge chunk of it done. So I'm kind of thinking, do I do That Fantasy Worlds by Emily Lederholt-Oberg as a project book, or no? Because as I said before, her new one will be coming out next year, and then I'd want to be colouring in that one, so maybe not. Or also Fragile World by Kirby Rosannes. I've recently bought that book off Vinted, and I've coloured in one page in it recently, and I absolutely loved how it turned out, and I really enjoyed colouring in it way more than I thought I would. So I kind of feel like I'd love that to be a project book, but then at the same time I've only coloured the one page, so I haven't even got a head start in that one. It's just really hard. Some of my eerie books I potentially could, but then I don't know if I want to, because there's some pages in my romantic country books which I don't think I'd ever really get to. Well, there's a few pages I'm not as keen on, so maybe not that either. I'd also love to complete a mythographic book. I think that would be awesome, but mythographic pages take me so long because of the amount of detail, and I like taking my time on them, so I don't feel like that's realistic either. Maybe one every other month, but not one every month. Or do I pick like one of my Japanese books, like one from my Tokameku series or something like that. I just don't know. So how do you guys feel about buying loads of colouring books? Let me know in the comments below. Like, do you ever get overwhelmed with your collection and the amount of pages that you'd like to colour? Or do you not really, does it not bother you that much or affect you in any way? It'd be interesting to get other people's kind of opinions on it and how it makes them feel. But also, what makes us keep buying colouring books when we've got plenty? We've got enough pages that we love and books that we love to keep us going for a whole lifetime. Why do we then keep buying more? I'm still going to be buying more, as I said. Nothing will change that. I think it's like the excitement of a new release, a new illustrator with like a different style that you want to try out. And also, I think also when you get a new colouring book, doing the first page is always so like exciting and satisfying and just really fun. And then also, because I watch a lot of YouTube, I see a lot of colouring books on there, and you get FOMO. I don't want to miss out on someone's like flicking through a book or they've done some really beautiful work in it. I'm like, oh, I could try doing something like that, or I'd really like to try that illustrator out, or whatever. And then also, of course, the hit of dopamine you get when you receive something new. So when you have a new colouring book, obviously you feel so happy and excited, and flicking through it is so much fun. But obviously it doesn't last. So it's a really hard one. I have tried going on a book buying ban before. Never works. I end up just buying more than you've planned to if you weren't on a book buying ban, because I think because you've told yourself you can't, you then want to buy them more. And how I do that is usually on Vinted, because money that I have on my Vinted from selling my old things, I then used to buy new things with, either for me or my daughter. And it's basically like free money. And my husband laughs at me when I say that, because he's like, no, it's not free, because you've still had to spend money in the first place to make that money, if you know what I mean. Which is true, yeah. But in my mind, my girl math, it is free money. And if you're not in the UK, Vinted is basically an online kind of, it's an app, and you can sell used things on there, like secondhand, buy and sell secondhand things. So I use it all the time to sell my old clothes, sell books, colouring books that I don't want, art supplies you don't want. You can literally sell anything on there. We've sold like old phones on there before, like game consoles, literally anything you can sell on there basically. And I just love it. So I use it all the time. I use it all the time to buy clothes. I buy my daughter quite a lot of clothes and toys off there as well, because it's just obviously way cheaper than buying brand new. So obviously with colouring books as well, if you see, you can get some really, really good deals on there. Because I got this book, this Kanoko Egusa book, which only had one page coloured in it, and also I got two other of Kanoko Egusa's books with it in a bundle. And the other two were brand new, completely untouched. I did show them in a haul a couple months ago. And I think I got them for £10 including postage or something like that, like really cheap. Whereas normally they'd be like over £10 per book, brand new. And I got them all for basically £10. It was really cheap anyway. And just such a bargain, I couldn't pass it off. And I wanted the books anyway. Because you see them on there, you also have to be quite quick to buy it before someone else does. So I always do keep a lookout for colouring books on there, because it's kind of a way to fund your hobby as well, for like without spending too much money. If you buy things secondhand, obviously you can't do that with new releases. Don't know if this blue is that blue too dark? Too bright, sorry. Or do I use this one? I think this one will be better actually. Let's put that one away. I've already kind of added a bit of that, I'm sure it'll be fine. I was going to rub that bit out, but I'm sure it won't show when you've added more. This is my first page in this book, so it's good to get one done in here. I'd also love to complete a Kanoko Egusa book, like Leon's Journey. That would be incredible to complete. Can you imagine that book completed? But those pages take me so long as well, so that would just be a very long, that would just take so long. I'm not sure that I have that in me, but it's such a gorgeous book. I'd absolutely love to finish that book one day. And polychromos usually take me longer to work with because they don't blend, like you have to kind of layer them a bit more. They don't blend like Prismacolors do. So they take me quite a while to work with. But then also I do have, where is it? I've got it with me. This Color blender pencil. This one's really tiny, but these are a lifesaver with polychromos. I find it kind of speeds up the process. With polychromos, I don't really layer them how you're supposed to. You're supposed to kind of layer them slowly. I don't. I kind of just use the same techniques I use with Prismacolors or a wax-based pencil. But it works for me. I usually press quite hard with my coloured pencils. But whatever works, yeah, just do whatever works for you. I think this bird's actually going to be a slightly different colour blue than the reference image, but it's fine, you'll get the idea. It's a blue parrot. I don't really have much more to say on the topic. It was just, I just kind of wanted to have a chat about how I've been feeling recently, about feeling overwhelmed. There's just way too many pages that I want to colour, and also coming up soon I would like to do kind of where I go through my books and pick out some autumnal pages ready for autumn. But then at the same time I'm also going to want to be colouring in all of the pages that I pick out, which just obviously won't happen. But it's fun to do, and it also kind of gives you some fresh eyes on your old colouring books that you haven't touched for a while, and might make me come back to them and enjoy some of my older ones again, which is kind of why I like looking through my books every now and again. Kind of gives you a bit more inspiration. And also I just kind of want to stop feeling guilty for the amount of pages that I haven't coloured and that sort of thing. Like, there's no need to feel guilty about it. It's just a colouring book. It's just something we do to have fun, so I shouldn't really feel guilty for having a book and not having coloured many pages in it. Like, you know, all you're doing, I guess it's not even wasting money though, because I'm going to come back to it and do more in it. And I spend hours in each of the books that I have. I don't think I've wasted money on any of the ones that I've got, so I don't know. Really, I shouldn't be feeling guilty about it. And eventually I will complete some colouring books. It's just obviously going to take many, many years, and just something I'd need to commit to if I know a particular one that I would like to colour. But I think I might do a video soon, as I said, about some project books that I'm going to be kind of focusing on a little bit more than some of my other books, because I think that might lead me in the right direction towards completing a couple of books, which would be really, really fun, even if it is many years to come. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. What are your thoughts on overconsumption? Do you get overwhelmed by how many books you have? Are there any books that you would like to complete or are close to completing? I would love to know. I hope you found this video interesting and you enjoyed kind of listening to me ramble on while I colour this bird. So I haven't even completed this bird, but I'll probably finish this in a second off camera. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye for now.